and welcome to What Went Down for the Royal Rumble 2023. I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, joined by a rather shell-shocked Phil Chambers from WhatCulture after the events closing out the 2023 Royal Rumble Premium Live event, but we will get to that in due course, Phil.
Yeah, we will.
Let's start at the beginning of the show because, surreally, the show opened with the men's Royal Rumble match, which is possibly the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah, quite possibly, I think so. But it got right into it as well.
Oh, they just beat the piss out of each other.
Man, meat slapping, man, whatever. Because it was Gunther and Sheamus as the first two, running back to the best WWE match of the year last year, in my opinion, anyway. Clash of the Castle. And they just started slapping the crap out of each other straight away.
Yeah, it was like, you know, the usual sort of, I don't want to dismiss anyone, but, you know, parade of like, right, we need to get someone from Raw on, then someone from SmackDown. And any time you're thinking it was a bit of a lull here, they'd just be like, right, send out Karrion Kross or Drew McIntyre and they can just beat the piss out of some of the losers out there.
Yeah.
Like poor Miz.
Poor Miz.
Just immediately getting, well, not immediately getting eliminated, but very early on just going, can I just get out of the ring almost? Because just caving his chest in. And then things started to pick up around number 12 at Phil Chambers.
Around about number 12, roughly.
As revealed on SmackDown, Brock Lesnar was in this match, and we had a tantalising glimpse at Brock Lesnar and Gunther.
Oh, they were squaring up and they were ready to go, but who would interrupt them? Big old Bobby Lashley, speaking of big men slapping man meat.
Yes.
And obviously this was the time for just big dudes to sort of clear house a lot.
Yeah. That was we were commenting, weren't we? There's quite a lot of people in the ring. Then Brock came out and it suddenly cleared out very easily.
Yeah.
And Brock Lesnar was gotten the better of by Bobby Lashley again.
Brock Lesnar was only in there for like 3 minutes or something like that. And Bobby Lashley got him out. And Brock Lesnar was not too happy about this. Obviously, he started smashing up ringside. He got steel steps and he was smashing it on the announce table. And then as he was leaving,
Pat McAfee, who was starting the show,
was there as well.
was very scared.
But as Brock Lesnar was leaving, Baron Corbin's music hit. And he just got laid out on the outside pretty much, didn't he? He took all of his frustrations out on poor old Baron Corbin.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Baron Corbin eventually got in the ring, I think, after Seth Rollins came out there and was eliminated in 6 seconds. Yeah. But it could have been worse because he could have been Rey Mysterio, who didn't even compete in this. So technically, he is the Royal Rumble winner because Cody Rhodes jumped over the top rope.
Cody Rhodes did jump over the top rope at the end of it. I mean, spoiler alert, Cody Rhodes won. Yeah. We should also point out Kofi Kingston we think he attempted one of his I'm going to get back in the ring things. But, like, they didn't replay it, so all we saw on the live stream was him hurling out of the ring at 1,000 mile an hour, face first into a chair, and then everything collapsing at ringside. I genuinely have no idea what happened. We need to go back and rewatch it to figure out what the hell just happened there. But 2 years in a row there for Kofi Kingston.
Keep it simple, guys. I don't know what they're playing at. In terms of surprise entrance towards the end of the men's Royal Rumble match, we got Booker T, who did a spinneroonie and then basically got lobbed out in about a minute.
Yep.
We got the return of Edge when the Judgment Day, ex-con Dom, Damian Priest, Finn Balor were dominating. Edge comes out and looks like Rhea Ripley's going to get involved in all that. When who else should return, Phil?
Oh, Beth Phoenix.
Oh!
It was quite good, this. Edge... did Edge eliminate Finn Balor
and Damian
Priest? And then he got eliminated himself.
By them, because they just got back in as they were going after ex-con Dom.
And then they were just like fighting around on the ringside and all the way up the aisleway until, Rhea Ripley came out to try and even the odds, I guess, even though it was still like 2-on-1, to make it 3-on-1. But then behind her comes Beth Phoenix running it back. And there's a lot more to come from Rhea Ripley later on, but some good fun stuff from the Judgment Day in this.
She's going to be sore tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Ex-con Dom looked like he had the match won basically from then on, sort of. And then who should enter at number 29 but Logan Paul, Rookie of the Year for 2022. Got a, let's say, mixed reaction.
Yeah, he was playing up to it.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He expected what was going to happen at least.
He's over in Saudi Arabia and a babyface there and kind of nowhere else, basically.
But he did get one of the spots of the night.
Oh my God.
Obviously, like, Braun Strowman and Ricochet had come out towards the end of it, and there was a bit where Ricochet and Logan Paul, they were both on the outside, on the ring apron, holding onto the ropes, and they were like, oh yeah, you think you can jump? All right, yeah, I think I can jump. Can you jump? Yeah, we can bloody jump. And they literally just hurled themselves at each other by doing slingshots off the ropes from one end of the ring to the other and just smacked into each other in the middle. It was genuinely one of the best Royal Rumble spots I think I've ever seen. It's absolutely stupid.
That or the caterpillar that I always did on Gunther.
Yeah, of all the people that he picked to do a caterpillar when it was Gunther.
Yeah, amazing stuff that. And then it was just down to the number 30 entrant. No Sami Zayn in all this. We saw on the kickoff show that Roman was like, no, you're going to be by my side all night. They sort of implied it there, and then to make sure that whoever number 30 was didn't get booed because they weren't Sami Zayn, they just made it Cody.
Yeah.
So he was always going to get cheered.
Yeah.
And he came out and he looked absolutely sensational. That scar's very nice. It just sort of stands out enough for you to be like, oh yeah, the tit injury.
Yeah.
And then he got in there with Gunther, and then you were like, oh yeah, the tit injury. And we thought the final four was ex-con Dom one of the final four? Because certainly up there. Austin Theory, of course. I'm just getting my gits mixed up.
Seth Rollins, obviously, because of the Cody Rhodes mix. Cody Rhodes and Gunther. At least that's what we thought. Because Austin Theory got hurled out of there. But who was hanging around on the outside, not actually eliminated, but Logan Paul?
Great. Comes in
as the final four.
As it looks like, Seth's going to pedigree, I think, Cody.
Yeah.
Logan Paul just slid back in because we were like, we never saw him eliminated, but we just assumed because we saw him on the outside that had happened. No, Logan Paul slid back in, chucked Seth Rollins out. There's your match for WrestleMania. Job done. Logan eventually got eliminated after being hit with a crossroads by Cody Rhodes. It was down to the final two. Number 30 versus number 1. Gunther versus Cody. And one of the best, we talked about this, aside from Michaels and Taker from 07, I think it was, one of the best final two fights I've ever seen. Even though I knew it was going to be Cody, I didn't know it was going to be Cody because they did it so well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think by the end of it, Gunther had spent like 1 hour and 11 minutes in there. And like they went a long time. Like I'd love to see the exact figures of how long it went, but it was like, what, like 5 to 8 minutes or something? Like they had a proper match afterwards. And Gunther did not hold back on Cody's injured titty.
No.
He went after it. Boy, howdy. They had a fantastic finish. They absolutely beat the crap out of each other. But obviously, it was all going to boil down to Cody Rhodes winning. He's not going to return after all of this hype to not win the Royal Rumble. A great moment there at the end of the match.
But as you said, he jumped over the top rope and Rey Mysterio hadn't been eliminated, so he really wins.
Exactly, yeah. So Rey Mysterio is the winner of the Royal Rumble. It's official.
How do you follow that? Well, with the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match, apparently.
Of course.
Which was a match.
It was definitely a match. It was
neon,
very glowing.
Yeah.
There was lots of like the black lights and the ropes were like bright yellow, and Bray Wyatt had like face paint on that you couldn't see when he was walking down to the ring with his lamp, but when it came on, like his face lit up.
LA Knight's pants glowed.
Yeah, absolutely glowed. It was obviously like a no DQ style match, so when they were taking the announce table apart, like weird bits of bright green confetti came out of it for no apparent reason, and then they built up a bit where there were steps leading up to the announce table, and then LA Knight like kind of dove onto Bray Wyatt through the announce table, and it just exploded with bright green glowing confetti.
We also like the bit where LA Knight went and got a kendo stick to attack Bray Wyatt with, which was not only glowing, but when you hit him with it, left marks glowing on
marks,
them.
Yeah.
And I was kind of getting into it at that point. For all the weirdness that it was. And then suddenly Bray Wyatt just hit Sister Abigail and 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and that was that.
He thought, oh, that's a bit of a weird one. And then Bray Wyatt's like, oh, I'm insane. I'm not finished with him.
Yeah. His mask changed. His face changed somehow.
Yeah.
We're not entirely sure. And they started brawling about on the outside. And they went to like the production area. And at this point, we were like, where's Uncle Howdy? And then the camera panned up, and he was just at the top of this massive thing. And then Bray Wyatt put LA Knight down on the thing, and he just kind of stood there. And Uncle Howdy did this massive elbow drop, falling like 20 feet onto LA Knight. This whole thing exploded.
People in the chat said he missed him. I was like, I can hope so.
He fell a really long way. The whole thing exploded. There was fire, there was pyro, there was sparks.
The creatures.
Then all the creatures were looking over it at the end, and it was all just a bit weird and spooky.
Okay. Let's move on to the Raw Women's Championship match. Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss. I haven't really got a lot to say about this, if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah.
It was very much a women's title match from Monday Night Raw, given, 10 minutes? How long did this match even go? Let's have a look.
Can't have been long.
7 minutes, 35 seconds. Yeah, not great. They really have got time to get into anything, but then... Did anyone really think Alexa Bliss was going to leave with the title, especially now Uncle Howdy's dead or wherever he is now, a pancake?
Yeah, I think, the match, it literally could have just been on a Raw as a throwaway match. There was not really anything to it. Bianca Belair won with the KOD. There's really not a lot else to talk about. It's a little bit disappointing that they only gave them 7 minutes, to be fair. I think they could have put on definitely more of a show and come up with a better match than this. I guess the only talking point from this is what happened afterwards. Was obviously Alexa Bliss had lost, and then as she was lying there being really disappointed, all the spooky nonsense started appearing on the screens, and Uncle Howdy was there, and he said something.
Do you feel like you're in control?
There you go, something along those lines. And Alexa Bliss just kind of stared at it for a while.
And she was like, huh?
And then
they went
to black, and we went to some
Cricket Wireless,
or something. So, yeah, really kind of nothing throwaway match.
Was that not the bit where they mugged off Kofi, being like, look at all this crazy stuff Kofi can do? Oh, don't rub it in. Anyway, then it was time for the Women's Royal Rumble match. It was Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns in the main event. So the Women's Royal Rumble match went here. And we called it, Phil. I'll get to it. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan started. Liv Morgan, as she's always said, started from number 2. Okay, fine. Actually, she started, I suppose. Rhea and Liv started and were right there till the very end, in fact. They ran the gauntlet with it all.
Yeah, first 2 and final 2.
Some nice spots in there with Damage Kataral teaming up and then Becky being like, I've had enough of your crap, basically.
Yeah. Who did they eliminate where they just absolutely destroyed them? I can't remember who it was.
Was it Dana Brooke? No.
Maybe. But Bayley had laid them out on the outside and then Io Sky carried Dakota Kai and just hurled her into the other person and they just went flying.
They did a few people like that. Some great showings from NXT stars in this, I thought. Zoe Stark came in and looked sensational.
She looked so good.
As did NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
Hey, start watching NXT, guys. It's
all right.
It's something. But there's some very talented people in there. B-Fab showed up. Candice LeRae, Xia Li. Xia Li kicked ass as well, actually,
she did.
in there. But we have to talk about entrant 17 at Phil Chambers because Asuka's back and she's really weird.
Yeah, she is. She had a kind of dragon mask thing coming on. She had sort of darker gear than she normally has. And then when she took the dragon mask off at the end, she's got this sort of crazy, Joker-esque kind of blue and white face paint. It looks absolutely fantastic. Bit sort of darker black gear on underneath the massive coat and things. And she kicked ass.
Speaking of kicking ass, by the way, Rhea Ripley at one point got a bloody nose and looked exactly like a clown.
She did.
She just had the blood on the end of her nose. Later on, it was smeared all over the place.
Until she decided to just go, bleh, bleh.
Yeah. Pat McAfee, I think, at one point said, she's smeared her lipstick. And Cole's like, it's not lipstick,
Nope,
Pat.
that's definitely not lipstick. But yeah, Asuka looked absolutely fantastic in this.
Really, really good. She got there right down to the final 3. There was someone I'd never heard of before, Piper Niven.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but
thank God she's not.
For some reason, Cole and Pat McAfee were making weird things about do and drops. I don't know. They
very
really
good guys.
Shut up about it.
Shut up.
Thank God Piper Niven is back as Piper Niven and not Doudrop, by the way.
She looked great in there as well.
Hugely better.
We had Michelle McCool.
Who was surprised that she got entered into the Royal Rumble because she was ringside with her daughters and then a music hit and she was like, what? I don't know what this is. I guess I better
accidentally
take my
enter a
jacket
Rumble.
off and get into the Royal Rumble. No, that's not how it works, Michelle McCool. But obviously, because she always does, she looked really good when she was in there.
Yeah, do you know someone I'd like to see more of? Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
I felt so sorry for her.
She is returned to WWE.
4 seconds.
She had a really good entrance, screaming her way down the ring, and then she was eliminated in 4 seconds. So we're definitely going to get more of Chelsea Green. At least, hey, be remembered. Don't be one of the people who just lasts 3 minutes and disappears with no fanfare. At least
They
4
better
seconds.
do something with her.
They better.
Because she's great. Indy Hartwell, also another great NXT star, showed up in the match. And then you had Sonya and Shotzi and Nikki Cross.
So we got to number 30.
Entrant number 30. Let me do the countdown, Phil, and then we'll reveal the name. Okay. 10.
Nia Jax!
They just played her music. It's flashed up. They didn't do the 10-9. Just play the music. She's not like most girls, because most girls wait for their music to hit.
Completely cocked it up. Genuinely hilarious. But Nia Jax made her way down to the ring. She started squaring
Chorus
up
of
with everyone.
boos.
Huge chorus of
Yeet.
boos. Squaring up to everybody in the ring, and literally every other person in that ring like surrounded her and started attacking her. She did the big "Rah!" where everyone goes flying, but eventually the numbers game was
Do you want to
too
read you
much.
who eliminated her?
There you go.
Asuka, Lacey Evans, Liv Morgan, Mia Yim, Michelle McCool, Nikki Cross, Piper Niven, Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, Shotzi, and Sonya Deville.
Yep, everyone.
Everyone eliminated her, and it was great.
But we got down to the final 3, and it had a really good finish.
Oh,
for Royal
this
Rumble.
finish was
I really
so
enjoyed
good.
it. Everyone was on the ring apron. They'd all been over the top rope, so everyone was in major peril at this point. But like Asuka seemed like she was going to be on top, and she was attacking Rhea Ripley. But Rhea Ripley kind of managed to like sneak through and get a kick through the ropes to knock Asuka flying, which left Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan.
Well, not before Asuka had
Oh yeah, of course, you got the mist out.
misted Liv Morgan.
On Liv Morgan.
Or I think maybe Rhea ducked,
Rhea ducked,
actually.
and she missed Liv Morgan. That's when Rhea did the kick
Oh.
through the ropes. And then Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan were kind of duking it out on the edge. Obviously, Liv Morgan couldn't really see, but she was kind of almost getting Rhea Ripley down. Almost, until Rhea Ripley like grabbed the ropes, lifted her feet up, grabbed Liv's head, and pulled her over for a sort of Hurricane Rana off the top. Rhea Ripley is your Women's Royal Rumble winner from number 1 to the
Amazing.
very, very finish. She was in there for over an hour. And yeah, she's off to WrestleMania. Good
Yeah.
call.
Congratulations to her and Liv Morgan, I have to say that.
Yeah, Rhea Morgan had a great showing.
Yeah, most eliminations for Rhea Ripley. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm right in thinking that. And then it was time for the main event of the evening, Hardy's musical performance. This was bad.
That was real bad. And we're not going to talk about that because it was Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in the main event. And, I mean, what do you expect? They had a really good match. Of course they did.
It was
Kevin Owens.
spectacular because it was a match that we were, invested in. The
Yes,
title's on the line at the end
heavily.
of the day. But you're also going, I'm just going to watch Sami Zayn
Because he was there at ringside.
yeah, the Usos
for
and Solo
entire
Sikoa have been
thing.
told, don't come out for the main event. I'll deal with it. But also Sami will be there by my side the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was a harrowing experience for Sami, this.
Yeah, just a little bit. Obviously, the match went on. There was like stunners, there was Superman punches, there's loads of kickouts at 2.
Ref bumps.
Ref bumps. But during the ref bump, Roman Reigns started shouting at Sami Zayn, like, get me a chair. And Sami was there, but you told me to do nothing. You
Yeah.
didn't want me to do anything. He's like, now I'm telling you to get me a goddamn chair. And so Sami was like off, like scrabbling through everything, desperately trying to find a chair. Found one a little bit too late, but slid it in for Roman Reigns. But Kevin Owens managed to come in. I think he hit a stunner on him for a close 2 call
Great.
when a new referee had come in. But anyway, that all kind of, the match went on. Like, the match was good, don't get me wrong.
Oh, really enjoyed the match.
But it's what happened after the match that's really the biggest talking point.
Yes. So the finish was... what was the finish? Oh,
Superman
yeah.
punch and a-
God, I've just remembered what he did to him beforehand. Sorry. They brought around the
God,
outside.
yes, of course.
And then... when people get thrown into the steps and you go, very good, you just fall into the steps. Yeah.
Or when
Match-
people get slammed on the steps and they've like taken the top one
Yeah,
off
nice
and
and
they've got the
flat,
nice flat bit.
No, none of that. Kevin Owens gets thrown backwards, falls like this, into the edge of the steps. Not once, but twice.
Right onto the corners.
And Sammy's like...
Horrible.
Sammy's like, all right, I don't think that's enough, my tribal chief. And Kevin Owens gets back in the ring, and Roman's sort of just paintbrushing him a bit.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, one last show of defiance, slaps Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns goes backwards, spears him out of his goddamn shoes. 1, 2, 3. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief, as the remaining as the undisputed champion. But it was all, like you say, Phil, really about the post-match here.
Yeah, because obviously Roman Reigns was not done with Kevin Owens.
No, they wanted to really exact vengeance on him.
They really wanted to bring in vengeance. They started attacking him. The Usos came in. Solo Sikoa came in. The Usos super kicked him so many times. Of course, Paul Heyman, I mean, he just has handcuffs lying around in his pockets, just like you do. They ended up dragging up Kevin Owens to like handcuff him to the top rope, so he had to stand up. And the Usos would just super kick, double super kick, super kick, like over and over and over again. Solo Sikoa had been in there attacking him.
Yeah, they put the chair around him and done the thing that had written Riddle out in the corner there.
They annihilated Kevin Owens basically, and Sami Zayn was there the whole time until finally he'd had enough.
Yeah, he'd basically been saying, all right, come on.
That's enough. Roman Reigns was basically about to absolutely destroy Kevin Owens with a steel chair. And Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn stood and he's like, that's enough. Like, he's had enough. Like, you're better than this. Like,
I think he said,
you've beaten him, you've won.
Yeah, I think he said, you don't need to do this. And Roman said, you're right, you need to do this. Oh my God.
And then it happened.
Yeah, so
Roman Reigns handed him the chair.
Hands him the chair and goes, do it. Kill your former best friend, basically. And there's a bit of hesitation. There's a bit of...
He was gaslighting the crap out of him.
The alarm's going off now. Everyone's getting excited. And in the end, Seth Rollins on Raw joining Triple H's Gang of Bastards-esque.
Yeah.
Chair shot to the back of Roman Reigns, who collapses down. But
his big mistake was he only hit him once.
Yeah, he only hit him once. And then
he apologised to the Usos.
Dropped the chair. I'm so sorry. But who attacked him, Phil? Was it Jey Uso?
It was not Jey Uso.
Was it Roman Reigns?
It was not Roman Reigns.
Was it Solo Sikoa?
It was not Solo Sikoa. It was his goddamn best friend, Jimmy Uso.
Do the thing. He had the handshake thing, and he
went
kicked the
right
shit out of him.
And he absolutely kicked the crap out of him. Solo Sikoa wasn't too far behind attacking him, obviously. And then Roman Reigns, they beat the crap out of Sami Zayn.
Broke a chair over him.
Didn't beat the crap out of Sami Zayn. Jey goddamn Uso. He got out of the ring, he had his head in his hands, he walked off up the ramp. He didn't save Sami, but he didn't do anything to Sami. The bloodline is falling apart at the seams. Jey Uso, the guy who's finally come around to Sami Zayn just this week, is the one to leave him. And Jimmy, his friend all along, is the one to absolutely
How could you do
betray
this
him.
to us? Roman, the gaslighting prick.
It was an incredible ending.
Oh,
genuinely, if you haven't seen it, go and watch the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes of this pay-per-view, because it is absolutely brilliant stuff. An incredible climax to the pay-per-view.
Unbelievable, that ending. And yeah, like you say, we're on the road to WrestleMania now. How does Cody factor into this with the bloodline?
Yeah.
Who's Rhea going to go after? Really hope it's Bianca Belair.
Yeah. What's going on with Jimmy and Jey, and Jay's relationship with the bloodline? How is Sami Zayn going to fit into the bloodline going forward? Are they going to have a match?
Where's Rey Mysterio?
Where's Rey Mysterio?
A lot of questions, but a really enjoyable Royal Rumble. You know, some people, maybe it's one of the honest things we were enjoying a lot on the stream. Some people, weren't happy with it being predictable winners. I was happy with this year being predictable winners because they're two winners that I'd really love to see in world title matches at WrestleMania. And yeah, in terms of intrigue and excitement coming off the back of it, couldn't have really asked for much more. I don't know what happens next with Bray Wyatt, but I'm sure they'll have some wacky bollocks planned.
We shall see.
Let us know your thoughts on everything that went down in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcast. Me and Phil are going to go and talk in more detail about the Royal Rumble right now, so presumably by the time this goes out, it'll probably be available to download. Simon Miller's going to be here with Ups and Downs later on this show. Andrew Pollard will be giving you all the breaking news coming off the back of the Royal Rumble. And you can let us know your thoughts on Twitter as well, at WhatCulture WWE, where you can follow both of us. You can follow Phil Chambers at
Phil My Chambers, and you can follow Adam at
Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE, as I said. But for now, this has been the Royal Rumble. What went down? My thanks to Phil Chambers. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, Sammy. We'll see you soon.